Yo, yo, yo. Okay. Today, we're chatting. It's that simple. Shrimple as. So, you guys can join the Discord server. Be very simple. As Shrimple. As copying and pasting the link, you'll show up in the spawn point. Okay. There's a rules page. Let me move me over here. You know, very simple rules, okay? Super simple rules. And then you can click the emotes underneath the categories of things that you're interested in. Super Shrimple. Giga Shrimple. Yep. Then you can join the stream watch party. Let me just make sure that okay, all things live streaming. And then for the one I'm in, permissions. Okay. Yep. We'll chat about literally whatever. Yo, what's up? Would you like to chat? If so, go ahead and follow the link that'll take you to my Discord server. And then join the stream watch party VC. I'll drag you in. Okay, that was easy. Hello. Are you muted? You are muted. You're muted, by the way. If that's my fault, then I can figure that out. But I don't have you muted personally. It might be a server setting thing.
Hello.
Yo, what's up?
How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
What are your interests? What do you like?
I like to play video games and working, usually.
Yeah, are you proud of work or you just do it because you have to?
Boss.
What are your favorite video games?
I work video games. Undertale, Expedition
Based?
33.
Hella based? Yeah.
Uh, I don't know. There's a
Dude,
lot.
I love Expedition 33. I wrote like an entire like 15,000 word essay on just like the prologue.
Oh,
Um
I watched it in the YouTube. Yeah, you can show me the our
yeah, I
story.
15,000 words. I was writing just all my thoughts like replaying the game. I love that game so much. It makes me feel I don't know. That it speaks to me on a level. I like Souls likes. I used to play a lot of Sekiro and Elden Ring, and Expedition 33 was just I don't know. I love it. What ending did you choose for that
Right?
game?
I don't know. The story, the playline of that's a lot. Uh, and
Are you a Verso or Mael type of guy?
yeah, I will ask that question. Uh, I am Mael.
Mael? Did you choose her ending?
Yeah. Yeah. You?
Yeah, I'm definitely
I
a
think you are
Verso.
Verso.
Yeah, definitely a
Yeah,
Verso.
I knew it.
There's a lot of philosophical reasons why, but I could see the other side, but I think that's what makes the game so beautiful. Is like it's captivating to understand the motivations and perspective of like what type of person would pick either one. And there's not really like a right answer. It's going to come down way more to like your personal life and the things that you value or just kind
Yeah,
of the way
yeah.
that you felt in that moment.
But Storway, it's probably a Verso, I think.
I think philosophically it's probably Verso, but on an emotional level, it's super relatable to maybe choose Mael.
Yeah, it's very complicated, and you can say that the Maya one is very difficult to see because the Verso is playing again and again every day, like playing the piano, like the secret ending.
Well, yeah, I mean the
Watch the
developers
Maya.
definitely wanted to make it clear that like Verso's ending was quote unquote the right ending or the good ending, but that it's kind of more of a parallel of like sometimes in life it's much harder to actually like move on and face the hardship. It's easier to stagnate, to stay in our fantasies and to try to like chase the things that we want. But in order to actually grow and to, you know, do the right thing, we kind of have to move on and let go of some of the things that we cherish so much. So it's a dichotomy. It's really beautiful.
Yeah, absolutely.
Do you think a lot about philosophy or anything?
Sometimes we talked about earlier. Uh, do you remember it?
Not by your username specifically.
I'm Eamon at your chat.
Oh, you have a different username on YouTube.
Yes.
Hell yeah.
My
Penny,
usually username is Lucky Luck, like this one in the Discord, but I my real name is Ayman.
that's right. Yeah, yeah. We've talked a lot. Penny Pittman in chat says, "Can I pray for you, dude? You have the freedom to do whatever you want. I personally don't give a shit about prayer, but you know, you do you."
Yeah,
Hell yeah, dude. Well, I'm glad we could actually kind of chat. I wanted to do this different format for stream and stuff because I think that like there's kind of just a barrier between like somebody having to like watch a delayed stream and like type in their thoughts and I don't know.
yeah, yeah.
Communication's
It's
hard.
still different. When chatting,
Um
yeah, you only read their thoughts or comments and not like the speaking of each other.
yeah, there's a lot lost in translation, but I think I don't know. This could be fun. I one day I would like to talk to people about maybe some more heavy topics, but for the most part, like just checking in with different interests and stuff is I don't know, a good place to start. So if you ever wanted to get into philosophy or psychology or culture and whatever, I'm open to that. But is there an anime you're watching right now or a TV show?
Not right now, but I watch a lot of anime. Huh, let's talk about the Attack on Titan. It's a
Attack on
spoiler,
Titan.
but
Uh,
you take Eren or Eren's friends as
I
the.
haven't finished that show yet. I know.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's totally
Sorry.
fine.
Sorry.
No, I'm at fault here. I'm kind of a slacker. No,
Uh,
I I'm gonna be honest. I'm like halfway through season 3 right now, and there's like it feels like fucking nothing happens. And I don't know, I'm getting bored. I'm starting to fall asleep watching it. And I know that it gets good in like season 4 is what I hear, but I'm just kind of I don't know, I lost a bit of interest and momentum like through season 2. Like I've picked up and put down that show like 5 times.
oh, it's good, but yeah, in process, it's very boring in sometimes.
Yeah, I mean,
I gave
I'm
you
sure it
a
gets good.
yeah, partial spoiler I gave you just like. Don't mind that.
I've been watching Hell's Paradise though. I really love that show.
Let me.
How do you get bored watching Attack on Titan? How do I explain this? I guess I'm spoiled with the modern day like pacing and action that like when I go back to 2014 anime and there's 3 episodes in this exact same location for the entire episode, every episode, and like 2 plot points maybe happen and the action is just kind of meh. Like I don't know. I'm super spoiled by Jujutsu Kaisen and Demon Slayer and Chainsaw Man and stuff nowadays that like going back and watching that, my brain has assimilated to the new good shit. I don't know. I would like to explore that more of like why do I get bored, but it's been a couple months since I've watched an episode, so I don't really have all the thoughts
You dropped
fresh on my
again?
mind. Yep. I'll get back into it one day. What's wrong with me? I don't know that it's a necessarily a wrong thing. It's just a
I will
personal
give you a
preference
partial
thing.
spoiler too. But the ending was fizzle of I don't know. It's a real big spoiler or not. I will think about it. But it's a very good choice, like the Expedition 33's ending, and you can really say that wow, that's a good ending. Like,
Okay.
but some of them say you're doing very bad. I hate you like this, but some of them say yeah, this is the right choice. Like Expedition 33's ending, Verse and Maya.
Nice.
Anything.
Hell yeah. Um I've heard good things. I just want to check in with the chat real quick. If you guys are interested in having a conversation, you can follow the link. Go ahead and join the stream watch party after specifying what your interests are. If you click on the emote, you'll get the role. And so the streaming one will give you access to the streaming category, and you can join the stream watch party, and it'll drag people in. My cousin is super into Attack on Titan, though. He really likes a lot of the engineering of it, which I think is really cool. He's a mechanical engineer, so he
Uh,
watches that show from a completely different lens than I do. But I know that there's like tons of world building secrets and stuff that I'm just not aware of yet. I don't really have like the context for like why it's so interesting or cool cuz so far in the show like basically everything is still a mystery. They haven't like answered any questions that I have. I feel like I'm being led on for so long and I'm not really getting any payoff. So that's probably why I'm getting a little bored of it, but I'll get back into it. I promise. I'll finish it. I'll get there.
You don't need to if you don't want to. But yeah, sometimes it's very boring. Like same other stuff. Well, which anime I dropped? I don't know. I watch them all
Yeah,
like
I mean,
a lot.
in the social zeitgeist of like anime and stuff, I feel like it's almost necessary for me to watch that just to have the context. It gets brought up so much in reference to many other things. So
Yeah, for the context only you can watch. Worth to watch.
there's two people, so I might finally get an answer. What is your favorite album? My favorite album right now. Let me pull it up. If you have an answer, Raymond, go ahead. Do you have a favorite album? Like a record?
I don't know the mine which album I will look.
I'm literally looking through my YouTube music catalog right now.
Me too.
I would say probably Next Gen by Bring Me the Horizon or the latest Sleep Token one. I can't remember the name off the top of my head. Even in Arcadia, I don't know that the whole album is like necessarily a banger, like start to finish, but it's just the genre of music I'm into right now. I actually have this new artist that I've been enjoying a lot. It's kind of a mix of like J rock and like Western metal. It's a very nice mix of things that I really like. The artist name is Disman. Let me throw this up on screen real quick. This guy, dude, if any of you guys like Japanese music or like hard rock and like electronica, try Disman, please. Your life will change. I know mine did. Do I have an OnlyFans? No. Would I make a ton of money though? Do I seem like like the type of guy to get a lot of money from OnlyFans?
No, you don't.
Hades Tech by Melanie Martinez. I have no idea who that is. I'm so sorry.
Mine is like this one. I what's up the text chat. It's Turkish, like my culture, but
You
I
can
don't
put it in the
a lot.
voice chat, side chat. There's like a drop down for the side chat you can post a link into. Unless you put it in the oh, you put it in the anime. I guess it would be more fitting to put it in the music section, but that's totally fine. Yeah, it's probably some what language is that?
Turkish.
Turkish, that's right. Sorry,
Yeah.
yeah. 14 and
No.
40 at the same time. Is that a commentary on the way I look? Because you're kind of right. I see it.
You know Barış Manço, the publisher of the album. He's a singer.
I do not know.
Oh, he's very famous man. For us. Yeah. National hero like.
Love your hair, bro. Thanks, dude. Dude, I just got out of the shower. I haven't even like done my hair. It's just all scraggly and whatever, but Alex Eubank. I don't know who that is.
He is a bodybuilder.
A bodybuilder. I do not follow bodybuilders. But yeah, this guy looks similar to me, yeah. I would say this photo looks relatively similar, kinda. I could see that. I feel like I could maybe be a bodybuilder, but at the same time, not really. I don't have the personality for it. Like, I don't know. There's something about like the Chad fucking mentality. I just don't care. Not to knock people who enjoy, being all muscular, but it's just not something I'm interested in. Well, as a reminder, if anybody's interested in having a conversation about whatever, I'm literally an open book. You can go ahead and join the Discord, join the stream watch party, and you guys can talk to me. I'm gay. What can I do against that? I don't know if you want me to take that question literally or as a joke. Like, if you're gay, cool, whatever, bro. But
Ask that
like, what do you want
question.
me to say about it? What can I do against it? I don't know. Suppress it? Be closeted? What do you want me to say? I don't care. It's a spectrum, bro. I'm a little gay. I'm not the type of guy who would judge at all. I have gay friends, actually. There's my best defense. You want me to take it literally? Are you embarrassed about it? Or was the grammar of your sentence what you intended?
Asking to me?
Oh, no. Sorry. I'm just talking to chat. Dude, being gay it's interesting. There's for me, I'm not ashamed of it. Like I've got attraction to guys. Guys are beautiful. Like there are many guys that I wouldn't mind. Did you see us on demonstrations? I have no idea what you're talking about. I don't want to be a part of that. What are you talking about, bro? Do I like Jordan Peterson? I used to when I was 17, and then I grew up and found intelligence within my brain, so I no longer do. I think that it's sad that right now, especially in America, we have kind of this young men's crisis where we're looking for meaning and purpose and identity in a very hostile environment culturally towards men compared to what it used to be. Jordan Peterson was one of those figures that gave a bit of direction and identity or community for young men, and I was one of them a while ago. I think that the sad part about it is that, like, excuse me, holy, men used to identify themselves a little bit more as like, I don't need, stop being a white supremacist. I'm not a white supremacist. Men used to identify themselves more as like, I can take care of myself. I'm gonna be, like man of the house or whatever the fuck. What is this? We're just talking about whatever. Talking about anything. Somebody asked me if I like Jordan Peterson, so we're just going in on that for a sec. And then society kind of started to take them a little bit literally of like, boys are strong and they handle their emotions and they can do whatever. And so people started to leave them behind in a lot of ways. Am I Jewish? I'm not Jewish. We're just chatting. That's all this is. But unfortunately, like with many other things, like it's a complicated topic. There are many different influences, many different factors at play, but generally men, especially young men, started being left behind a lot more. And a lot of philosophical, like existential dread and depression started to consume a lot of young guys. Are you a member of the incel community? I didn't even know that there was like a community, but no. Rolling Stones or the Beatles? Probably the Beatles, because I've probably listened to more of their music. And my mom would be mad at me if I didn't answer that way. Yeah, but I think there's a lot of good for young men to take from his conversations and writings. Don't get me wrong. There's a big difference between the types of conversations and the types of things that we should think about and the types of lessons that we should learn and take away from the ideas that people are trying to put forward. And there are a lot of concerns and problems that should be addressed and paid attention to. There really isn't like a person who is correct about everything. Everybody is kind of pointing to the same type of stuff as a, like, hey, look at this. There's like a problem here. And then everybody's kind of like throwing in the pot what they think is the right answer to address that sort of thing. Am I a Chinese supremacist? I don't think I'm an anything supremacist. I'm a citizen of the world. I happen to live in the United States, happen to be born here, happen to stay here. I don't know that I will forever. I don't really think I identify that way. I think he's a Zionist, guys. The Mossad. Yeah, I'm getting paid by the fucking... Dude, I wish I was getting paid by the fucking... by Israel. At least I would be getting more money. Your thoughts on George Droid? I think you mean George Floyd. I mean, it's sad that we have such a divided and violent political environment. I don't think that's good. And people will use events like that to charge their political views. And personally, for me, I don't know that it necessarily comes down to as simple as like a black and white framing. And I'm not saying that as like, oh, a race thing. I'm saying it as like a point of view perspective of like, it's all good or all wrong or whatever. Like police have their responsibility. I think civilians have their responsibility, the way they act. And so we can critique different people for each of their different actions. And we can say, this person should have maybe done this different. This other person should have done something else different. So, no, I mean George Droid. Oh, I have no idea what that is. Is that a new meme or something? I'm not familiar. I can see what you're saying, but I feel like his main pursuit for young men is for them to look at their highest calling, essentially. Sure, I mean, everybody wants like their own identity. They want their own like goals in life or like their destination to be something that like they can embody and actually reasonably chase. And that starts from within. That starts from a personal fulfillment or like philosophy from within. I don't think Jesus is real, by the way. I'm not really a religious guy. I'm sure he was a real person. I don't think that he's some superhuman demigod, whatever. Thoughts on the Fourth Reich? Not good. It's that simple. Jesus ain't shit, bro. Listen, people follow Jesus for a reason, okay? He represents something for a lot of people that give them a sense of direction, hope, like coherence of understanding the world. I don't personally subscribe to religion. Personally, I see a lot wrong with religion. If anything, I would probably lean more in the anti-side of religion, but you cannot let that consume you, even if you happen to agree with me. You have to allow yourself to understand that there are so many different people out there with entirely different understandings and perspectives, interests, and all that stuff. It's not just for dumb people. It's for people who prioritize their lives in different ways. Some people need a sense of religion just to give them comfort existentially, and that's okay. Sure, we could definitely look at the general population and say people who are more disfortunate or struggling or not as intelligent, who are more dependent on other people, might be more likely to be religious, partially for those reasons. But everything is way more complicated than a simple black and white framing. Even though I myself am an atheist, and I am so mainly through an intellectual lens, that doesn't mean that everyone else falls into that lens of identifying with a religion because of their intellectualism the way that I do, or lack thereof. You will be fine under my eugenic dictatorship. Listen, I don't think you're going to have a eugenic dictatorship if you're in my chat. Let's be real, okay? You're probably just some random fucking guy. All right? My Prince Albert piercing got infected. Thanks, bro. Everybody clappa. We all needed to hear that. Thank you. Paganism is W? European ancestry, bro? I have no idea what the fuck you're talking about. I think people are trying to like rile up or like talk about controversial shit, which I understand. That's the internet. We're all radicalized now. We're all talking about crazy shit to get attention. I get it. I'm genuinely interested in like, I don't know, an actual conversation about something. So if you really want to genuinely talk about stuff, you know, that's a little bit more of my focus right now. Am I green-pilled? Can you give me a definition? You need to convert to Judaism and start studying the Talmud. I need to? What am I going to lose? Why do I need to? How do you know me that well? That's my real question. How do you know me well enough to say what's good for me? You know what I mean? Am I in college? No, I wish to be, though. No, the old gods before Christianity, like Perun and Odin, I'm not really familiar. Only European genetics can breed in my eugenic dictatorship. Bro, listen, this is not your 4chan, like, Nazi shit, okay? This isn't it. Not it, bro. Go find someone else, okay? I'm not there with you on that. Would you call yourself right or left? Definitely left, for sure. Not as far left to say like, at least from like an American lens of like right or left. I'm way more towards like the center left, liberal end of things. Not so far left to be more like socialist, but kind of more in that ballpark. Didn't want to be so straightforward about this, but I'm your father. Dude, I have my dad's number. Listen, I could verify right now. Why would you say something like that? That's so weird. This guy is a W. Shut up, bro. Let him cook. Adam Green. He will green pill you. Who is Adam Green? Adam Green is an American singer, songwriter, artist, and filmmaker. Is this the guy you're talking about, or is this a different one? Call him. I'm not going to call my dad right now, but good one. And the reason why I'm not going to do that is because he and my mom separated when I was like 4.5, and I didn't talk to him for like 15 years. But we've since kind of reconnected. So it'd be a little awkward right now because I talk to him maybe once a year. So it'd be really awkward. Okay, I'm not doing that for stream content. Is this the guy? Is this your fucking savior? Reborn? Are you anti-femaxing? I have no idea what the fuck that means. Holy shit. Oh my god, I can't type. Nothing fucking came up. What does that mean, bro? Half the shit you guys talk about, it fucking blows my mind, I swear to God. Okay, as a reminder, you can follow the link to join my Discord server, which then you can join the stream watch party, VC, and I'll drag you up and we can have a conversation. Is there anything else you wanted to talk about, Eamon, before potential other people probably take the spotlight away?
I think. By the way, which chat do you reading and responding? I don't.
Wait, what?
Do you read a chat, but which chat? Are you asking?
Do I read WeChat bots?
No. Do you reading a chat like YouTube or Twitch? What?
Oh yeah,
Which
no,
one?
I'm reading so many YouTube chats right now. I think this is the most popular stream I've ever done. It's pretty sick. Can you resend the Discord link? It's not clickable. Just copy and paste it into Discord or into a browser. That should work. Is blonde hair and blue eyes the peak? From a very subjective, non-judgmental lens, just what I tend to enjoy looking at on an aesthetic preference, sure. Do I think that the genetics are somehow superior in any objective way? Absolutely fucking not. That's stupid at best. Just because I happen to look like a Nazi doesn't mean I'm a Nazi, okay? Like, come on, bro. Widen your horizons a little bit. Oh, Antifa maxing. I just read that right. Bro, point to Antifa. Bet you can't. Dude, my chair is all squeaky now. It just got squeaky. Like, it wasn't squeaky last week. I've had it for like a couple of years, and now it annoys the absolute living fuck out of me.
My topic is, why is there something instead of nothingness?
Why is there something instead of nothing? That's one of the classic big questions. You know,
Yeah, I know.
there's some physics theories that like there was a war between matter and antimatter, and matter just happened to win out, but there's not necessarily like a definitive reason we can point to as to why that's the case. So it's kind of harder to like, I don't know. From a philosophical level, the only way that we could see in the universe that there would be something is necessarily by the fact that there's something would then allow us to exist to then even ask the question. I don't really know that there's like a necessary reason why there had to be something. I think it just happens to be the case, and like anything that we could point to is all speculative. Like we don't really know the reason why, and that's a really important thing to acknowledge is like we don't have a conclusive answer. It's all going to be theory or philosophy to like shortcut our misunderstanding of the universe. So well, aesthetics matter. They only matter subjectively. Do you know the difference between objective and subjective? It's a pretty important distinction. Happy Thursday.
We have free will or not?
Sorry, I can't quite understand what you said.
Do you think that we have free will or we don't have it?
Do I think
Or
we have
it's
free
all
will?
destiny?
Okay, here's the thing. Do we have free will in the subjective sense that like I'm convinced on like an interpersonal level that I feel like I have free will? Yeah, I definitely feel like I have free will. When I consider the mechanics of the universe, when I inspect it on a more intellectual level, I am convinced more and more that we likely do not have free will. And so I can kind of square that circle by saying that like we have this illusion of free will, whether it was like an evolved trait that helped us survive, some sense of self, some sense of agency, that like movement and action will lead to some sort of result. And by feeling like we can actually choose what that action is, that we control the result, might have been a necessary trait of evolution in order to actually survive to get to the point now
Yeah.
where we're kind of left over with that sort of framework, but there really isn't like in order for like real free will to exist, we would have to assume that there's some sort of like outer force, like there's some sort of third like pocket dimension that we're able to pull some sort of wacko bullshit out of in order to like influence our real decision making. Like everything, when I think about it, everything is just an interpolation or like a recombination of information that we have. Our creativity kind of works this way where it's like when I'm creating something new, it's more like inspired by the things that I know and the things that I can understand and communicate that then are like that then is my creativity at the end of the day. Like it's really apparent like the types of things that you're creative about are so heavily influenced by the things that you have thought about, the things you're interested in, the things that you've learned. And then when you learn about new things, you now have a bunch more information to pull from when you're creating a new sort of thing. So I'm personally not convinced free will exists. A lot of free will defenders are usually a little bit more like superstitious, supernatural leaning, sort of religious, God-fearing people. I happen to not be one of those people, so I kind of fit within this constellation of beliefs that is a little bit more
Yeah.
secular, materialist sort of thing. When do we start realizing that we were the bad guys in World War II? I don't know who you mean by we. Personally, I think that the allies like America and France and the UK were all the good guys. I'm not going to be convinced otherwise of that. But to say that America, if we were to go into World War III today, would I say that America is the good guys? Probably not. Not this time around. So that's unfortunate, but just my opinion.
You know the QL, I think, like can we truly experience something objectively? Like I see a tree that's green, I shall say, and that's green for me, but I don't prove that it is red for you. Like, understand?
Yeah, that's it's a hard thing because like consciousness is a please don't call me that. That's so cringe. I happen to be Aryan, but I don't identify that way. Just because aesthetically I am that. I okay, please get the Nazis out of my chat. Please. Sorry. Like conscious experience and qualia, like if I look at a tree and I see green of the leaves, my green could be different from your green. Like you could potentially be seeing green as red your entire life, but you would have grown up being told that that is what green looks like. And so even though you're seeing within your own eyes and your own brain the qualia of red, you've just labeled that color a different thing. Luckily, we know enough about human biology and wavelengths and the rods and cones in our eyes and the translation through electrical signals in the brain and all of these different things to say, well, actually, certain colors actually have an identifiable wavelength that we can categorize into a different color that then we can actually say like who's colorblind or not and what colors they can and can't see and so on. So there's kind of two sides to that question of like what is the literal scientific translation of physics and then what is our conscious subjective qualia experience of like the taste of chocolate is a very common example that gets brought up is like what part of the brain or like what do you point to say like, oh, that's the taste of chocolate? Like on a scientific level, like consciousness is one of the most inaccessible things when it comes to like studying the universe but yet we are conscious. And that's why if I go to college, like I'll easily choose like psychology and neuroscience as my majors above most other things, because I like genuinely the brain is the most interesting, mysterious thing, and yet it's the thing that we are. It's the way we understand the world around us. It's so paradoxical. It's insane. When people realize what the six-pointed star is that an Israel thing? Why is everybody so religious in chat or like
That's
ideological?
I'm reading. I don't understand still.
Yeah, sorry. I'm reading chat. Sorry.
Chat.
Yeah, YouTube chat's.
No, I don't understand that.
Oh, there are two YouTube streams. There's a vertical stream for like TikTok type of shit. And then there's the normal horizontal full screen. So like the vertical stream goes through like the shorts feed, and so way more people scroll in through that than the normal horizontal stream. So anyways, do you have like a favorite drink, like a soda or alcohol or anything? Personally, mine's probably Mountain Dew right now. Or like Mike's hard lemonade or something. I'm kind of a pussy when it comes to alcohol, actually. Like, I really don't like the taste of alcohol, so I'll totally take like a cocktail or something. Or wait, are you underage? Do you even drink alcohol?
Yeah, I remember. But I love coconut water. Who
Who am I talking to?
Like a tasteless. Sorry.
Oh, sorry. I was responding to chat. We're in the Discord. If you guys want to join the Discord, you can follow the link, go into the stream watch party under the streaming section after you identify with your role or your interests, and we can chat in the Discord. Sorry, go ahead.
I would like to have a coconut drink like a drink, but being like a tasteless and a taste like same time. I don't know. It's a really good a drink for me.
Mm-hmm.
Do you ever drink a coconut drink? Like
Discord's a bit too Jewish for me. What the fuck? Why do people keep bringing up Jews? I don't get it. Can we leave that alone, or at least like talk about it in the right sort of circumstances? Like, it's very weird to come into some random stream and just mention Jews. Alcohol sucks. I stopped drinking 3 years ago. Personally, I'm not a big fan of alcohol. Like, I would much rather do most other like brain enhancing things like caffeine or THC within reason. I don't do anything hard or illegal, but I think alcohol is more of like a social thing. Like if you're hanging out with friends, going out with your buddies or whatever. I don't know. I'm not the biggest fan of alcohol, but some mixed drinks, I swear, like taste better than soda. But the vast majority of like raw alcohol, like just straight up shots of shit, not a fan. Couldn't be me.
My next question is that will you let is that there's any numbers like mathematical structure consists of numbers, I know, constant steps and points, but those are the real ones or like we made up like Newton?
Is your question, did we make up math, or is math like an actual thing in the universe?
Yeah.
Yeah, so generally math is referred to as the universal language. So as long as physics is consistent throughout different parts of the universe, which we seem to see, except for very rare situations like black holes. Even the properties of those seem to be consistent enough that math is just the way we translate that into our language to communicate that to one another. But you kind of have to separate the two things into separate categories of like there's our language version of math, but like at the same time there's like there are real properties to the universe that are explainable through math that are real. And just because you might, go back 200,000 years before humans even had the ability to like have computation or like mark things down and count, like the mathematical principles still existed in the universe. So yeah, we did make up our way to explain it and communicate that, but how old are you? I'm guessing 25. I'm 24. That's a good guess. Very good guess. Good shit. You get a gold star. Or crisp high five. Metaphorically. These are great questions. Thank you, Eamon.
Thank you. Sure.
I'm
a very big fan of Fibonacci number. Do you know?
the Fibonacci sequence, I'm vaguely familiar. I haven't done like rigorous study on it, and if you ask me to explain it to you, maybe I would do it at an amateur's level, but you see it all the time everywhere in nature. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, I will say that too. Like anywhere, like in my working station, I use that too. Like I'm into crypto.
Interesting.
Yeah, I build a chart of Fibonacci sequence, and in Fibonacci sequence, like in everywhere, like in number.
Hell yeah. Yeah, it's interesting. There's like oh my god, bro. The fucking Nazi is back. Yeah, watching the way that biological entities grow, like even like plants or like cells reproducing or whatever it is, it's very interesting to see how like there's even like fractals or like another naturally occurring thing that are kind of similar to Fibonacci sequence that like nature is insane. Like the level of like patterns and sheer scale of like just how small something can go and just how large something can go and like the vast connection between like different shapes and repetition is it's crazy. It's mind-blowing. You seem like a pretty smart.
Like,
Sorry, I keep cutting you off. You seem like a pretty smart guy.
Shit's
Have a good night.
crazy.
Thank you. Yeah, it is pretty nuts. As a lefty, you believe in free speech and open dialogue, right? I do. Generally, free speech is not like a hard, fast rule of like literally anything. Misinformation and disinformation, propaganda, lying, all of these things have problems. I don't like yelling fire in a theater. I don't think is acceptable. Like there's a few things that we should take into consideration when we think about free speech. Generally, I would hope to be able to openly engage about any topic without having my government crack down on that or punish me or silence me. I think there are a few things, though, within reason that we can see as either exceptions or debatable limitations within the framework of free speech, but generally I would love people to be able to speak their mind without punishment unless they intend to do harm. You know, like we punish and we like criminalize threats, you know, like there's a few things within the free speech framework that, you know, aren't exactly free reign. So if you guys are interested in joining the stream and having a chat with me, go ahead and join the Discord server and then run on over to the interests page, click the emote underneath streaming, and join the stream watch party, and I'll drag you up. I'm a free speech absolutist as long as it's not against my internal politics. Yeah, you seem like a very closed guy with your beliefs. It's kind of weird. You're definitely a Nazi. I could imagine you like Nick Fuentes, and it's kind of cringe. And I personally disagree with you, but I support your right to speak your mind. So we can disagree on stuff. That's okay. I'm going to run to the restroom real quick. Go ahead and join the Discord server. Join the stream watch party VC, and I'll drag you up. Be right back. I'm more of a Thomas Sewell guy. I have no idea who that is. Whoa. I imagine he's some sort of Nazi pill dude. Honestly, like, I don't know. Fuentes is a LARPer. I don't know. I don't really care. I think Fuentes is cringe. I think people on the right side of on the right spectrum of politics are cringe and weird and wrong. Like, here's the thing. Do you like dogs? Do you like animals? Do you like the fact that this planet has evolved completely, unique traits within these different species that have their own unique set of traits that don't necessarily need to be compared on some sort of superiority scale? Don't you think that the fact that this planet has been able to inhabit such a wide arrangement of different not only species but then different traits within a species, don't you think that that's somewhat special, somewhat cool? Because think about it this way: if everything was the same, if everyone was, if everything looked the same, there would be no novelty, there would be no interest, there would be no, if everything's just cohesive, if everything is one thing, it's boring. Not only is it boring, but it feels like it's unoriginal. There's no innovation, there's no interest. You lose all of the ability to have color in the world. You know what I mean? I mean, yeah, I could guess that you are more dispassionate. That's not even true. Crime isn't it's not a property of somebody's genetics. It's a property of someone's economical standing in the world, their access to resources would be a way higher driver of crime, or their interpersonal relationships, the stuff that they go through in life is way more, if not like the only stuff that reasonably has any consideration in terms of whether somebody would commit a crime. That's just ridiculous to think that genetics has any role in that, besides maybe some disposition towards mental health issues. But then at the same time, it's like, it's not even that the genetics were the thing that caused crime. It's the fact that somebody suffered with mental health issues, didn't get the proper care, which we have the ability to do. We have the ability to help these people to circumvent the likelihood of them committing crimes. Like, it's just ridiculous to think that genetics would be anywhere near the top 1,000 reasons why somebody would commit crime. It's not even close. Sure, but I'm a pattern noticer. Yeah, so am I, bro. So is everyone. Our brains are literally wired to notice patterns. They're also extremely wired to be extremely biased and to also prefer things that are familiar or comfortable. So it's very predictable that you would fall into some sort of pattern where you would prefer the culture or the biological traits that you tend to find familiar or that you identify with. You're just another sheep in the world that is the machine. You're not special, bro. 14 words. He'll come to our side when he realizes we aren't the evil monsters we think we are. I think that, like, it's not even that we're monsters or that even he's a monster. We're human. We are all flawed. We are all different. We are all, you know, fucking animals on this planet that just have an entirely different set of circumstances and preferences. And he's just one variation of that. That's all he is. Do you think that I'm a monster? Do you look at me and you think that, like, okay, sorry. I know where that sounds like it's going. You already like me because I look like an Aryan. Fuck. So you already have a lot of bias towards my aesthetics. So that's really not the argument I should be taking there. Would you look at somebody who doesn't look like me but has my exact personality, who has the disposition or political beliefs, but aesthetically and genetically are entirely different? Because I am just like that other person in every way that matters. You know what I mean? Like, somebody's moral compass, they're just as human as you, bro. I don't know what to tell you. Somebody's moral compass, their decision making, their affirmation or care for others, their ability to, you know, fulfill their own happiness and perhaps the happiness of other people around them in a reasonable way. Like, these are way more important characteristics of a person than skin color, eye color, hair color. Like, I guess it depends, like, what the end goal is, okay? Let's ask ourselves for a second. What do we want the end goal to look like? What are we maximizing for? What is the end result that we're creating this experiment to try to reproduce, okay? Is it happiness? Is it well-being? Is it equality? What'd you say?
I think that peace.
Sorry, one more time. It's just the accent. I'm just...
Peace.
Peace.
Yeah.
Peace is a good
Yeah.
one. Like, there are so many, you know, different things that we can prioritize rather than the way somebody looks. Like, sight is just one of the many senses. Like, why would you care about sight and the way that things look over the way that things make you feel, especially on like an emotional level or on a security level or on a, you know, like you mentioned honor with the Japanese on an honorable level. I would argue that it's not that the Japanese are honorable. They just have a history to where they valued honor. And even nowadays, they don't really even identify with that shit anymore. They've been modernized. They're not this fantastical picture of that you think they are. And I probably like Japanese people more than you, bro. Like, you genuinely don't have like a good framework for identifying good qualities in people. You just simply don't. I like the fact that you are white. But if you don't want to have in-group preferences to your own people, then it's a shame you don't realize what's important here. Exactly. We must secure the existence of our people and our future for white children. Why not all children? Like, do you like dogs? Would you not protect your dog or your dog's children? And your dogs are way more different than you than any human. Humans are 99.999 similar to you. Like, doesn't that get you riled up in your fucking German, you know, Fourth Reich sort of shit with me saying 999 over and over again, bro? Like, come on. Like, just think for like 2 seconds about any of this shit. I swear. Japanese people had stolen from them, had that stolen from them post World War II. No, they did that to themselves. The Western world, especially America, came in and helped reconstruct their culture, their constitution, in a lot of ways because of their actions. It's not that the Japanese were these perfect fucking, you know, honorable people where their culture was invulnerable. No, they had a lot of shitty, very unethical, dishonorable behavior towards people. And that, you know, in a globalist world where we're all trying to coexist, you know, we like Eamon said, like, peace is a good end point to maximize for.
Do you watch JoJo, the anime one? JoJo Bizarre Adventure.
I've only seen, I think, season 1.
Oh,
So,
okay. Need to watch that.
Hmm?
You need to watch that too, like the Attack on Titan one.
yeah, I definitely think that's true. I hear about JoJo all the time as well.
Yeah.
I think I started season 2 and I kind of had a weird shock because it felt like a completely different tone than season 1.
Yeah. In season 3, there's a villain. I don't want to give spoilers, but his purpose of the life is to make peace out of anything. Like, his last final stand for the life is peace. Like, he wants anyone to live peace in their own.
Yeah. I mean, peace isn't also like the most invulnerable sort of like trait or value system, because I can achieve peace between two people by killing one of them. Technically, there would be peace afterward, but that doesn't necessarily mean that that was a just peace. You know what I mean? So we kind of have to then sub-identify within that framework. But Mustache Man from Germany created lots of animal protection laws that most of the modern Western world adapted while still calling him evil. The irony. Is this another one of your weird... Oh, wait, what the fuck? No, this is the other person. I'm so confused. Listen, the world is a melting pot of different systems, different cultures that all copy each other, okay? We're not really very original. Like, any one individual person probably doesn't really have a lot of the ability to like really change the world. We copy each other. We're social creatures. We watch the We watch the world turn around us. We observe each other's behavior. We take into consideration each other's arguments and preferences and emotions, and we assimilate or we change or we innovate upon those same ideas. This isn't, the world is not as black and white as people make it seem. This honestly is like a philosophical problem for most people, because people will have an identity, which is totally fine. Everybody needs to have some sort of thing that they latch onto. But then they see everything else that is not them as somehow wrong or bad. And that's not necessarily the case. Sometimes it can be antithetical or a threat to your preference or your bias or your in-group. But that doesn't necessarily mean that it's wrong for that other thing to exist. It's just as right to that person that is different from you. You know, you're not both. The fact that there are multiple people necessitates that there will be a difference between them. You could never have two people that are exactly the same. Have you guys seen fucking Game of Thrones? Like Cersei and Jaime are as similar and in love with each other and identify as the same person as much as they physically can, and yet they are still so different. Just by the sheer fact that there are more than one person means that they will be different. That's okay. We can coexist together. You know what I mean? How is this such a hard concept? I don't get it. Or at the very least, maybe it's not hard. It's just people aren't exposed to these different thought patterns or considerations. So it just, it takes you a minute to genuinely open up your mind to understanding stuff like that. I don't know. But something I am also very aware of is anytime you challenge somebody on their beliefs or understanding, then it's easier for them to dig in their heels because it feels like a personal attack or a threat, and that's an entirely different thing. I mean, if that were true, we could all just move to Africa and live amongst tribes that don't have civilizations or laws and haven't contributed anything to the universal good of being mankind. It's not that everyone will just get along. It's that we have the potential to, and you need some sort of system to uphold and protect people in order to have order. You can have chaos. We could move to Africa and live amongst the tribes. We wouldn't have the same standard of living, access to healthcare, technology, comfort, all of these things, but that doesn't mean that you wouldn't still coexist. It would be different. It's not like, sure, it would be quote unquote like worse or better depending on the person. Some people would prefer to go live in an anarchical society with African tribes, and that's okay. Hunter says, "Can I make a deal with you?" You can propose it. That doesn't mean I'll accept it. I mean, an African didn't build the computer you're using right now. Yeah, that's my point. It would be a different life. Probably not a life that I prefer. I have biases and preferences, but there's a completely different circumstance where it's like I can exist and that person in Africa can exist. Guess what? I can exist and you can exist. We both coexist. We are already living this life I am describing. Hopefully within this framework, we can build towards a more peaceful, transitory sort of interlocutor of working together to be able to have less bad outcomes within the ability to be ourselves and to be whoever it is we want to be within this world. Let's crowdfund his tickets, bro. If you crowdfund for me, I'm spending them on tickets to wherever I want to go. I have no obligation to do whatever you want me to do. You look like a very soft and sensitive little fella. Well, looks are one thing. I mean, my personality is an entirely different thing. I can be extremely mean, or I could be extremely empathetic and open, or I can be closed off and cold and stern. As a human being, I have a lot of variety to my personality. You know, we are all human beings. Happy Thursday. Hello. Crypt Zero says, oh, yeah, that's my buddy. That's my friend. My childhood friend. I'm sensitive, though. Like, everybody has the ability to embody or feel different emotions at different times. It's not so like simple, you know, to be dubbed down to one or a few things. Humans have the capability to be like an entirely different identity in a very short span of time. You know what I mean? You have bleach blonde hair, little fella. You're not fooling anyone. Do you think that blonde hair means you have to be soft and sensitive? Do you think that that's what that means? Interesting. What's my time zone? Mountain time. Ritz, you have such a closed-minded attitude. Dude actually thinks nons are human beings. I mean, you are in the minority here, so I don't know what to say. Sorry, I should go back and check the other chats real quick. Fighting for the existence of your race in a world of survival is normal. Becoming a melting pot and giving away your ancestors' hard work to strangers is a Jewish construct. Okay, let me break your brain a little bit here. The world is no longer normal. Our evolved bodies, our evolved brains, and the capabilities that we have to create tools, to manipulate physical space around us, to communicate is a very novel, very new age thing. We no longer live in a survivalistic, like instinct, like ruled world anymore. Our modern world is not this tribalistic thing as much. We still have some tribalistic tendencies. We still have to deal with the fact that our biological bodies and brains have these, you know, like structures and systems that we deal with and filter through, but we also have the ability to change and to use our personality, our subjective experience to alter our brains, to alter our personalities and our subjective preferences as well. This is the situation that we're in the modern day is not normal. Case in point. Okay, so if I was to ask you which would you rather move to, Africa, Europe, which would you choose, or a white neighborhood versus the ghetto in America? Because I happen to have these subjective biases, because I happen to be, you know, in a Western civilization that is way more important and leading, so I'd probably choose Europe. But if I was born in Africa and I had more, you know, if I had that cultural bias towards that type of lifestyle, because I would have been that person, then I probably would choose the other answer. It's more down to who you happen to be, like where you happen to be born and what culture you happen to be in, that you will develop biases towards the in-group. It's a very biological function towards where you happen to be. Yo, happy Thursday. He has 67 IQ. I don't know who you're talking about. If you're talking about me, I have no idea how you would even have the ability to like compute or even analyze IQ simply from watching somebody. Like you'd probably have to do a way more scientifically rigorous test to even have any idea. And I think 67 is legally in the retarded category, like on a legal identification level, which the fact that I have the functions that I do would pretty easily indicate that I probably don't have that level of IQ, but whatever. I love how this chat is like 90% Nat sock. I have no idea what that means. Why are you typing in uppercase? Because he wants attention, probably. You really turned me on. Left a like, hell yeah. I'm attractive. Fuck yeah. Let's go. Because I can, there's absolutely nothing you can do about it. I don't care to change who you are, by the way. I think that that's kind of like an intuitive misunderstanding between people is like, just because there is another person out there who might disagree with me doesn't mean that I have some sort of desire to convince them to actually change. You know, like I'm perfectly happy with people existing that disagree with me. Unless their aim is to harm me, I could give a fuck less. I don't care. West and East Africa is still sub-Saharan, black. China is still Asian. There's no mass migration replacing the majority in these nations. I mean, there's no mass migration changing the anything basically anywhere except for like refugees running away from fucking countries at war, but it's less of like a social tribalism sort of like trans immigration thing than it is like a situation of like, I want to live, fucking run to the place where I can live. Or the place that somebody prefers to live, but that's pretty few and far between compared to the sheer scales of masses. I mean, you're talking about China. China has 1.4 billion with a B billion people to in order to somehow like change the demographics of that would require so many people to change to not only like leave but also for other people to come in. I don't, you know, that just on sheer numbers, like economically, that's an insane improbability. Why is it just white countries that are suffering mass invasion? They're not suffering mass invasion. White countries generally have better access to technology and welfare. They generally have higher standards of living, higher life expectancies. They're more attractive to people who want to go to countries for better opportunity, more access to capital. There are so many other reasons than my skin color different. I want to go to a different place. Like, it's so retarded to think about anything remotely in that realm of logic. Wasn't even replying to him, but he's making me reply about him. I mean, you're talking in my chat, so it would only make sense that I could assume you're talking to me, no? Refugees are supposed to go to the next safe country. They generally do. Some of them use that opportunity to go further. How is that so hard to understand? Why aren't Muslim countries helping Palestinians? I don't know. I haven't really studied about it. Go educate yourself and find out. I'm not the person to ask.
I think they're both Muslims. Like the French.
Sorry, say that one more time. I'm trying to understand the accent.
Oh, sorry.
No,
Like
you're
I
good.
replied to the
No, I'm just saying like you're good. I'm working through it.
okay, no problem. They're like he say like yes, that's true, but need say like why Muslims helping the Palestinians in war. Like and then I said there are both Muslims. I think.
There's a huge divide within Muslims, though. I think there's like the Shia and the Sunni or whatever the fuck. There's a lot of infighting within those worlds. It's not exactly a simple, you know, sort of cohesive identity within all of them. There's many religious differences with like Islamicism and all these different things, so it's really hard to understand exactly why different people will do different things. We need to follow Poland and Hungary to stop the hardest from entering. Why are there so many anti-Semitic or like ethnic, like superior people coming into my chat? Like, why do they exist here? I don't get it. You admitted what I'm trying to say. They're being brought to the West, aka white countries, because we build better civilizations. Yeah, but that doesn't. We build better civilizations not because of our skin color, but because of the vast history of opportunity and situations that built up to those moments of multiple millennia of different countries at war with one another, especially white, like these so-called like white tribes would often fight each other more than they would fight other people. You know what I mean? It's ridiculous. You guys are so cringe. Okay, this is not. Hold on a second. We're not gonna be saying super profane shit, okay? I'm gonna time you out. Do not say absolutely abhorrent things that are super offensive. You can speak your mind and your opinion, but that's taking it a little far in my chat. It's just not something I want to encourage or tolerate. Once chat loads, I will give you a timeout. For some reason, it's delayed on Opera GX. So how is that better opportunity then? Then that doesn't make any sense. What do you mean, what is better opportunity? Like right now, these better civilizations happen to be more Western. But even then, like there are so many modern developed countries like China that aren't white and aren't Western. They are very different sort of things, you know what I mean? You are in timeout, sir. This guy didn't get past grade 6. You have nice hair. Good night. I wonder who this guy is referring to. Good night. How much gay are you? If I had to put it to a number, somewhere between 5 and 8%, maybe. If white people were infighting with each other, like you claim, then why did we manage to build Europe? It's because, okay, here's a little capitalist or like innovative sort of like lecture for you, okay? When different countries have a goal, generally that is influenced by competition, there's a lot more incentive for innovation, and for resource gathering, and there's more motivation to try to build better systems or technology to try to win these conflicts, which then in turn usually creates an inverse effect where their cultures and their societies have more access to food because they had to build larger farms or whatever it is. That it's so complicated. There's so many different factors at play at all times. To simplify it so simply based on the color of your skin is just so retarded. It's so stupid. How many refugees did China take in? That's not the argument I'm making if you interpret it that way. 10 out of 10 gay. I mean, I really enjoy heterosexual stuff. I'm kinda open to homosexual stuff, but it really doesn't do it for me, but I have nothing against it. You know what I mean? But now I think you shouldn't pass on how your brain works to offspring. Too late. And who cares? Lol, it's complicated? Yeah, honestly. It really is complicated. The world is fucking complicated. And anybody who pretends that it's not that way is just delusional or uneducated or unexperienced. I don't know what to tell you. I enjoy peeners. I don't know. I enjoy my peener. I guess that's gay. I really like my peener. I wouldn't want to get rid of it. If white people weren't fighting with each other like you claim... Oh, wait, I already read that one. I think I'm caught up on chats now. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Okay, reminder. If you guys want to talk with me on a voice chat, you can go ahead and join the Discord link. You will be spawned into the Discord. Simply follow to the interest page. React with the emote on your interests if you react to the emote. Streaming or all things. You'll have access to the streaming page where you can join the stream watch party VC and I will drag you up. Yeah, I enjoy mine. Would I enjoy someone else's? I don't know. Maybe. Perhaps. And I wouldn't care. Maybe I would. Maybe I wouldn't. I don't really think about it. And when I watch my goon content, I tend to look at the girl like 99% of the time. I prefer looking at her. So I don't really care. I'm from Myanmar. Did you know me? No, I don't know who you are. Would you enjoy? I have no idea who that is. It's not that complicated, and you can't run around calling everyone uneducated because they simply want to keep their race alive. Yeah, but you're simplifying it, which makes you seem very uneducated, because generally the more educated or the more knowledgeable somebody is, the wider their net of knowledge and perspective can be to where they can transfer different inferences from different subjects to see just how interconnected and crazily intertwined many different things are. And so simplifying things down tends to be more incorrect or not as accurate as a representation of reality. It's just a fact. Do you like big schlong or little peener? I don't know that I really have a preference. I don't really think about that. I think I would tend towards the middle. I don't really know. I haven't really thought about it. Especially Europe being the homeland. It's not even the homeland. Like if you look at the evolution of humans, the Homo sapiens, we actually started in Africa. So this entire eugenics argument doesn't even work. We were all brown before white people even came into existence. Do it bounce? What are you referring to? It is a very unspecific term. Bro, you guys are really on some weird shit. I don't understand. Don't lie. You don't like watching chicks get railed by a little peen. Yeah, I think I would agree with that, John Cena. I think I'd probably lean that way. Just joined what's going on. So this is the first stream that I've done chatting to people, and there's a lot of Nazis. I don't know why. I'm not a Nazi. I disagree with them. I've been arguing with them the whole time, but I'm okay with it. I mean, I'd prefer not to talk about Nazi shit. It's not really my favorite topic, but it happens to be what the chatters are talking about. You know what bounce, cutie patootie? I don't. If I did, I wouldn't have asked. I think it's that simple. The advancements of Africa come from European people who conquered them. Yes, that's the way humanity happened to play out. And there are many, many different considerations and reasons in anthropology that we can look to point to say this had more of an influence or this other thing was the reason why that happened to be the case. But whatever, bro. They asking if you'll ass bounce. Yeah, I do have ballet butt. I used to do ballet. I do have an ass though. So that I'm not ashamed to say. I have no fear admitting it. Not a Nazi, just feeling a little fruity sometimes. Yeah, we also got this person in here. I'm totally fine with that. I've got gay friends. I enjoy gay company. Personally, not really into it, but I like the jazz. Show proof. I'm good. This isn't that type of stream. I'm not an OnlyFans model. I don't really care to use my money to get attention or to use my body to get attention. It's not the type of person that I am. It's a trap. It's not even a trap. It's just people trying to get a rile out of me, which is totally fine. Like, I understand wanting to be like wanting to be like, what's the word? Yeah, you know what I mean. The word's not coming to mind. Of course, he's done ballet. You can say that about anything, bro. You're not that smart. You can say of course because it happens to fit in the paradigm of your mind of whatever you think the constellation of like beliefs and activities that you think I might have done. I played a lot of football. I've done a lot of martial arts. I have done way more manly things. I go to the gym and lift. Like ballet just happens to be one of the things that I've done. I'm not gonna read. I'm not gonna read Hitler's book unless I don't know. Unless I was in school and I was learning about different histories of cultures and stuff, and that was one of the books that was recommended for like a certain essay or something. Then maybe I would, but I'm not interested on my own personal time. Listen, I'm gonna cut off the Nazi shit. I'm no longer interested. I've talked about it long enough. You guys kind of keep bringing up the same shit. I'm going to keep giving you the same answer. There's not going to be a lot of novelty here in this conversation. You're not going to change my mind. I don't care to change yours. You're fine to have your own opinion. You can go have your opinion, and I'm not going to care less. I'm not going to lose a blink of sleep tonight. I don't care. Ballet made you pretty athletic by the time we did football. It's pretty insane. True, yeah. Ballet served really well for like my balance, my coordination. It worked out and like strengthened a lot of different muscles in my legs to be able to juke people out, to run faster. There's a lot of physical advantages to doing ballet that really helped out in football and martial arts. 1 bounce per subscriber. For other people, yeah, not for me. I'm not doing it. Look, I know I'm an attractive guy, okay? I'm not blind, but I ain't making it bounce for you. I'm sorry. It's not gonna happen. Reminder, if anybody would like to actually have a conversation with me, you can join the Discord. You can choose your roles in the interest page by reacting to the emote. Join the Stream Watch Party VC and I'll drag you up and we'll talk. 3 out of 10 on a good day, that's totally fine. I don't have to be attractive to everybody. I personally think that I'm an attractive guy, but that's because I have my own subjective views, you know what I mean? John Cena, you're probably right. But you know what I mean. It's anything that has to do with like physical capability or endurance probably plays into that. But you already know that. You know what I mean? Would anybody like to have an actual real conversation about something that is interesting to me at this moment? He only makes it bounce for his lady. True. I don't know if you heard me earlier. I'm not interested in talking about the Nazi shit. It's really boring. Okay. Do you guys like anime? And if so, what is your opinion on Demon Slayer? There's literally all these characters. If you're watching the horizontal stream, if you're on vertical stream, you can't see it right now. But I have all these characters behind me from Demon Slayer. So, I want to know your opinion. Trump is in the WWE Hall of Fame. Don't care. Didn't ask, don't care. Next time I go live, hopefully we'll get some more people talking in the VC. I think people really enjoy the anonymity of the internet. They really enjoy being able to say, you know, whatever they want. And that's, that's very understandable from a anonymous lens. It feels a little bit more comfortable to be able to say things that might be a little bit more controversial or a little bit more personal, or, and that's fine. And I know that not everybody's like really actually comfortable with speaking their mind on a voice chat. So I'm not even like worried about it, but I think anime would have been outlawed by Imperial Japan for weakening the great original culture of Japan. You realize that they were already doing so many things that is in anime before anime, right? That anime didn't come from Western culture or the takeover. They already had all of these cultural interests and themes that then they created through another medium of which they could express their art form. They were already doing many of these things in other mediums of art. This isn't some sort of, insane thing to understand. I think it's sad you refuse to have pride in your race. And I don't care. I don't care. I have no reason to have any interest in that. I have so many other interests in things that actually matter in my eyes. So, if any of you would like to talk about any of those things, let's do it. The sheer scale of the universe is fucking mind-boggling. Like, okay, chat, if you had to guess, do you think that from the size of a human brain cell, could we zoom further out to where we see the entire universe? Or could we zoom in more towards the Planck length? If you had to take a guess. Anime takes place in ancient Japan culture and distorts it through modern lens. You clearly do care, otherwise you just move on. I mean, I probably want to go to Japan. I've already, if there's any cultural assimilation, I very much enjoy a lot of Japanese culture. I don't like all of it. I have my own critiques of every single culture on earth. I have different preferences, and I like multiple things about multiple different cultures, including my own. It's a wide range of variable interests and dislikes, and I happen to like a lot of Japanese stuff. And I'm not a Japanese guy. I'm not ethnically Japanese. It just happens to be the case. The answer is you can zoom in more from the size of a brain cell. You can still, even though that's incredibly small compared to our perspective, you can still zoom in way more than you can zoom out. And the universe is so fucking gigantic. Like, stuff like that makes me see stuff like the conversations we've had today about all this bullshit and just see it as like, yeah, that's fucking insignificant and genuinely has like little to no real consideration on the grand scheme of things. It's kind of ridiculous to even squabble over it. Like, it's just a completely different consideration once you've really seen things through that lens, I think. Personally, for me, that's just I can't really read it any other way. Well, I'm getting tired. This was a fun stream. I appreciate you guys coming in, even though we may disagree. I support everyone's right to have their own opinion and speak their mind, as long as they're being respectful. So, I'll probably wrap up in the next minute or two. Japan is the only Asian country post World War II with immigration policy trying to replace them. No, they, like, yes, they have some immigration policy, but generally, Japan is pretty racist. They are pretty ethnically cohesive on the up and up. Generally, a lot of the people really hate foreigners, and they don't want foreigners to come to their country and assimilate. The vast majority of them, at least. So, your perceptions on Japan are very, very wacko. Anyways, I appreciate you guys for coming and hanging out with me, little old me, a little random guy on the internet. Hopefully I'll talk to you guys another time about better things on better days. Goodbye.